Okay, guys. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Steve Plays 42. And I got some passages here. You can see I have story passages. Well, let me tell you why we have these today. Because we are going to do a hilarious story. I'm going to read a hilarious story. And I'm going to read a normal passage story, just a story. And we're going to see what's going to win. Normal story or funny story. Let's see. You guys, I'm going to read the funny story first. Now, this is basically, like I said, I'm going to be reading stories. It's going to be a funny story. Now, you guys, I'm going to kind of react probably. If it, who knows. But all I can say is, let's read the stories. Right. Now, this story is called Parents Tell Their Kids They're Getting Divorced, but what they do is hilarious. Like, I'm already kind of laughing because the title, like, Parents Tell Their Kids They're Getting Divorced. Like, gosh. Like, you can already tell it's probably going to be really funny. Now, here's the story. An elderly man in Phoenix calls his son in New York and says, "I hate to ruin your day, but I have to tell you that your mother and I are divorcing. 45 years of mystery is enough. Misery is enough." "Pop, what are you talking about?" the son screams. Now, already the son screams because he's horrified about them getting divorced. "We can't stand the sight of each other any longer," the old man says. "We're sick of each other, and I'm sick of talking about this, so I can call your sister in Chicago and tell her." And he hangs up. So he just hung up, you can just see, and she's going to tell, the elderly man is going to tell his sister. Not the elderly man's sister, but, they just called his son and his sister. Frantic, the son calls his sister, who explodes on the phone. Okay. Explodes on the phone. Guys, explodes on the phone. I think that's exaggeration there. That's a hyperbole. Oh my gosh. "They're not getting divorced if I have anything to do about it," she shouts. "I'll take care of this." Okay, so I'm guessing that she wants to make a plan with him to take care of this divorcement thing. So she doesn't want them to get divorced either. She calls Phoenix immediately and screams at the old man, "You are not getting divorced. Don't do a single thing until I get there. I'm calling our brother back and we'll both be there tomorrow. Until then, don't do a thing. Do you hear me?" And hangs up. What the heck? Now, you just heard her, let me show you this. If you look at this passage part, look. She says, I don't know if it's showing, but she says, "Do you hear me?" It is so funny. And let's get to the other part of the story. The old man hangs up off his phone and turns to his wife and says, "Okay, they're coming for Thanksgiving. Now, what do we tell them for Christmas?" The end. Guys, that's just hilarious, okay? Like, what do you even... I can't do this anymore. Anyway, let's get to the next story. It's called The Story of the Apple Star. And this is the normal story. It's kind of long, but I'm not going to be talking too much about it. So we'll just read it. So, once upon a time, a young apple tree began growing in an orchard. Each night, she would gaze up into the evening sky and admire all the bright and twinkling stars. Oh, how she wishes she had just one of those shining stars of her own. One night, an orchard fairy came to the tree with a promise to grant the little tree one wish. Without hesitation, the young apple tree told the fairy of her wish for a star of her own. The fairy promised that the apple tree was a good tree to grow to be big and strong and full of red, ripe apples. Her wish would be granted. Okay, so far, I guess. Okay, I mean, this apple tree really wants to have a star of its own. It seems like. So a fairy obviously comes, and I guess now the apple star it's going to have like an apple tree, so they're going to call it an apple star. I don't know. We just have to look what happens next. The apple tree tried her very hardest. Each sunny day, she lifted her branches up to the warm sunshine, and each rainy day, her roots soaked up the water she needed to grow. After several seasons, her hard work had paid off, and she was one of the biggest trees in the orchard, with branches heavy with ripe apples. She waited and waited for the orchard family to return so she could show her what she had done and finally be granted her wish. We just made it in the middle of the whole story right now. And so she wants all the other family to know about her wish. So she finally been granted to her wish. So I mean that basically means she got her wish. So she had a star of her own. Let's just see. I don't know. The apple tree was beginning to lose hope when one day the fairy returned at last. The tree shook her limbs with excitement, showing off her strong branches and all those beautiful apples. "Look!" she exclaimed. I've worked so hard and I've waited so patiently. When will I finally be given my wish and one bright star of my own?" "Oh, my dear tree," replied the fairy, "your wish has already been granted. You now have among your branches not just one, but as many stars as you've admired in the night sky." "But where?" questioned the apple tree. "All I see on my branches are leaves and those ripe apples." The orchard fairy gently answered. "Just peek inside one of those apples. There you'll find a special secret hidden star. It's ready to be discovered by the lucky person who chooses one of those apples you've worked so hard to grow." Retold and shared by Laura and ComboTogetherKids.com. That was the end of the story. So here's what I'm kind of wondering in this story. The thing is, now I just said the end of it. Now it said at the end, the last sentence, it said it's ready to be discovered by the lucky person who chooses one of the apples you've worked so hard to grow. And there it ends. So we didn't see the reaction of the tree when the fairy told the tree that this star was inside of one of the apples. We didn't hear the reaction. We didn't hear how the apple tree wanted to react. That's the only thing, But we don't know if that wish was really granted and it really came true because they ended off the story. So, you know what? We don't know, okay? We don't know the rest of what the heck happened. But we know all about how the tree wants this wish with the stars. And this, he wants a star of his own. But the fairy came over, the orchard fairy came over and, was deciding to give him a chance to have a wish that she would grant. And so later on, she says the wish has already been granted. And then she says that the tree got all the stars inside the apples, and that was being waited for. But then they kind of ended off. So we don't really know completely what else happened after the tree's reaction of seeing the stars. Well, guys, there's two stories. Who won? This story is called The Story of the Apple Star, and that funny story I threw on the ground is just plain flat on the ground It's called Parents Tell Their Kids They're Getting Divorced, but What They Do Next is Hilarious. Who won? That story, the funny story, or this big passage about the story of the Apple Star? Please comment me in the comment section below, and I will see you with another video. Oh, okay. I threw that paper right there too. Bye, guys.